Hey guys, Dr. Decks here. Welcome to our most current deck build in Tacoma, Washington. Thanks for coming to our channel. Please don't forget to click that subscribe button while you're here. All right, so it's our final day on site. We are done building this deck. So we're gonna do a run through of everything that we've done and also get you caught up on everything that we did since the last time that you've been here. And let's get going. The first thing that we did to this deck is we set some helical piles, and they had to go deep. We used a special helical on this deck. It was a dual helix helical pile. And some of those piles, we only had to set 3, but they had to go deep, and they needed a lot of foot-pounds of torque to register on our gauges to make sure that it would withstand the weight of this deck. So the first thing that we did was that we installed 3 helical piles in 3 specific locations. One of them was 17 feet deep, another was 13 feet deep, and the last one was about 12 feet deep. So once we did that, we built up with some 6x6 posts, and then we had this really large, awesome glulam beam that we installed, 6 inches by 18 inches thick, and it was 27 feet long. There's a 24-foot free span in between these 2 posts, and then we waterproofed this deck so that it had a waterproof bladder system so that there's no leaks below. So this entire lower space of this deck is enjoyable and usable year-round. They had electricians come in and install electrical for 4 heaters and also for a television for power, and they also ran a cable and some other amenities that they can use for their internet and that kind of thing. Once that was done, we installed all the decking on the top of the deck. We used TimberTech AZEK decking. It's a landmark collection in the boardwalk color and Castle Gate. And then we installed Regal Ideas glass crystal rail. We also powder coated all the glass mounts and the glass clips black for a nice seamless look that looks really nice when they're looking out towards their view. So let's go through and look at some of these areas, and then I'll explain a little bit more on some of the other things that we've done. So one of the things that we did for a finished look on this project is we wrapped the beam, we did a full-on soffit, and we wrapped the posts. But because the product that we used in the Landmark collection, they don't make a wider piece in the decking material, we used a product called Paint Pro. So we trimmed out all of the posts in Paint Pro product, and then we made a little base column. The tops have a Simpson Strong Tie bracket installed, so that it has a positive connection from the post to the beam, and it's also decorative, so it has a nice look. The beam we wrapped in matching fascia products that were made by TimberTech, and we used a Castle Gate to match the trim color around the beam, and underneath the beam, everything's been wrapped. It's all been G-taped and protected. It's all waterproof. The beam will never get wet or see the light of day. So those are 2 things that we did. Now these posts will be painted to match the color of the house, and this is a specific product that accepts paint very well, made by TimberTech. While we're down here, we just finished the soffit. The soffit is basically just TimberTech AZEK deck boards in the boardwalk color that matches the upper deck. This particular soffit, we ran it just random length. We didn't put any patterns or anything like that. We ran it random length, so there's just staggered joints all over the bottom side of this soffit. And then we trimmed it out in the Castlegate color as well, basically 3 sides. Against the sides, the house, and the other side, and then the gutter pretty much holds the final look over here. And then where we could, we stuffed the decking underneath the gutter, inside the gutter. If we didn't, then we ripped it down to match. So there's a nice, clean, seamless look all the way down. There's a little bit of wiggle here and there because of joist inconsistencies, but we were able to raise and lower some screws because PVC will suck up so well. Like if you're doing a traditional soffit out of wood, normally you can just nail it up. It's tongue and groove, it holds together. But this decking, we couldn't do that. We actually had to skip screw it, alternating high and low pattern on the joist, and we face screwed it, and then we Cortex the underside of this soffit. If this bladder ever leaks, I'm confident that the soffit won't get ruined because of it. So we can get the repair done, and we can also remove the soffit if we have to find a leak if that ever happens in the future. So this is a first for us. It's a very expensive way to trim out your deck, but it's also bulletproof. So I really like the way it turned out. All right, guys, so here we are on the top of the deck. The deck has been installed. It's TimberTech AZEK decking, same colors as down below. Landmark Collection, boardwalk color for the field, and Castle Gate for all the trim and the surface borders. The entire deck, like I said before, we had a waterproof bladder, and then we face screwed everything, and then we used Fasten Master Cortex plugs to cover up all the stainless steel screws that we installed, and we doubled up every single board on the top. It is the best way to fasten a deck down, in my opinion. It holds the best, it keeps things from moving around so much. Then once that was done, we installed Regal Ideas crystal rail. You can see the black pods that we did with the matching black hardware for the top clips. So that turned out very nice. I really like the look. It was a lot more work because we had to tap every single hole that a mounting screw would have gone in. All the mounting screws had to be removed from the pods. All the electrical had to be stripped. Then we had to reinstall all of those parts afterwards. We ruined 5 pods doing that before we realized we needed to tap everything. So it took us a minute to figure that out. Now, for the future, we kind of know what we're up against when we're installing. We know what we're up against when we're installing this type of. So next time we know what we're up against when we're going to do a custom color on a glass mount for this type of rail system. So it's just something to be aware of. It costs us probably more than a day's labor to deal with that, source all the parts, source the threading, clean out parts and all that. It was a lot. All the dies, or excuse me, all the taps that we had to use, that kind of thing. It took a lot more time than I ever thought it would. So we got to come up with maybe a better solution on what to do about those set screw holes when we go to send it in for powder coating. So we basically have had, we have our final inspection, except we were waiting on the electrical. Now that the soffitting's done, we can get the electrical buttoned up, and then I can go in and get our final inspection on this deck. But as far as I'm concerned, we are finished. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks for coming to our channel and checking out these build updates. I hope you do enjoy it. We put a lot of effort into providing this information to you. So please, if you don't mind, if you don't subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. It's no obligation, doesn't cost you a cent. It's just a way of following us and letting us know that you're into what we're doing. Leave a comment below and let us know what you think of this video and what you thought of this build. And just keep in touch with us. Give us a line. Let us know what you're thinking, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.